We're at the new Fins Up Water Park at Lanier Islands for the steel signing of its newest water coaster.
And a water slide coaster will send guests down a deep incline, and then they get rocketed up by water jets through a course and then end up on a massive wave wall. It is one of the most exhilarating and exciting experiences any guest could ever have on a water slide.
So we're just so proud of Margaritaville as our partner and so excited about everything to come.
I hope y'all didn't think this was a good promotional way to get the Negroes to come to your park, because we are not. Okay, we're scared to get on the boat. We don't even want to come there and stick our big toe in the water because we're going to die. You think we finna get in a slide? We're going to go down a tube to get to our death quicker?
Listen, when it comes to this whole Lake Lanier thing that ones are talking about, okay, and the whole ideology of, you know, it's going to be a water park there and this and this and that. Listen, should certain ones be running?
When they tell you, don't go to Lake Lanier.
Live on Lake Lanier, and they say that this lake is haunted. So the history of this lake, in 1957, they opened the dam to fill this area to create this large lake. Legend has it that this lake is haunted and that there's actually cemeteries in parts of the city that...
But I'm about to go in on this woman, so bear with me. Not you, a white lady, a white doctor at that. Chalking up Lake Lanier and the history to some ghost story. Totally! Leaving out the fact that almost 1,100 people were run out or killed. So white people could keep Forsyth County white. And they tried to erase all history of that by building Lake Lanier in the 50s.
They actually made it by flooding a valley that had a town in it, Oscarville.
When they built the lake, they left tons of structure in the water. We've got concrete, roads, bridges. We've got a racetrack under there. We've got standing timber that stands as high as 40, 60, 70 feet from the bottom.
There are trees, actual forest areas, to include a damn town, as well as a cemetery.
Authorities claim that many people drown in Lake Lanier because they get caught in the debris lurking beneath its surface. But researchers studying the lake believe this is only part of the story, and that the source of the dark force drawing people down into its murky depths is a Native American burial ground that was submerged by the lake's construction.
5 terrifying reasons you should never swim in Lake Lanier. 1, because it's built over countless flooded graveyards. Yes, for some reason we thought it would be a great idea to flood a bunch of graveyards and assume that nothing bad would happen.
There is a whole African American town under that water. They flooded that city. And not only did you flood the city, you continue to disturb the ancestors. Why do y'all think them freak accidents keep happening? I am not going to be surprised if one of them screws on this here slide gets lodged in somebody's throat mysteriously.
It is quite literally filled with dead bodies. There are countless people who have disappeared or drowned in the lake, probably because it's built over a fucking cemetery or two.
Lake Lanier was built by the Army Corps of Engineers. And according to the Army Corps of Engineers, they removed all the bodies while they were creating Lake Lanier. But back when they were building these lakes, they didn't have ground-penetrating equipment. So there's a great likelihood that there are bodies of the Native Americans under the waters of Lake Lanier.
A once thriving black town called Oscarville, comprised of successful black carpenters, farmers, and blacksmiths, is submerged within Lake Lanier too. This past year marked the 11th anniversary of Usher's stepson Kyle's death at the lake. Tamika Foster, Kyle's mother and Usher's ex-wife, made a petition to drain, clean, and restore the lake. Kyle Glover was 11 years old on July 16, 2012, when he was struck by a personal watercraft, aka a jet ski, while floating in an inner tube on the lake. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital where he proceeded to have no brain activity and succumbed to his injuries on July 21st. A close friend of the family's was convicted to 4 years in prison for Kyle's death. May he rest in peace. If his mother's wishes do come to pass about draining the lake, there's no telling what will be discovered in those ghost-filled waters.
But what's most surprising is that even though this lake may be cursed, people continue to enter its waters every day.
There's world-class divers that will not dive Lake Lanier. We have 11 to 14 million people a year that are coming here and taking their chances, in spite of the fact that there has been somewhere between 600 and 700 drownings on this lake. I'm not saying that there's a curse, but I'm saying there's definitely some bad energy.
I say let them die. I mean, seriously, if they want to be soul food or shit, casseroles for the ghosts that lurk under Lake Lanier, let them be casseroles and soul food for the ghosts that lurk under Lake Lanier.
Many Native American traditions have long-standing, very deep beliefs about how to treat dead bodies and how not to disturb them, and how not to disturb burial sites. The desecration of those is held in Native communities to bring on a lot of bad spiritual energy.
Is it possible that Lake Lanier is home to dark spiritual energy? Perhaps.
Well, the so-called descendants of other folks, right, are making it a good time and doing this and doing that. And it's claimed to be haunted, right? Should other ones, right, who claim to be the descendants of ones who were lost there be running away from there? Shouldn't we be flooding that place out? And not in the way that it allegedly was, right? i.e. the lake. But shouldn't we be flooding it out there? I mean, you see dancing going on, sailing going on, all this other stuff, right? Shouldn't you be dancing around that motherfucker? Shouldn't you be having your rituals going? Shouldn't you be flooding it out? Huh? Shouldn't things be happening to shift that? Let me hear say, why you ain't there? Why you ain't there first? Why you ain't there first? Boots on the ground.
The remains of these communities are still submerged beneath the surface of Lake Lanier.